Hello everyone, and welcome back to the MGL. This time we are in week 7, almost the end of the season here, playing against Niko and his Lilypool FC. Niko was a replacement coach subbing in for Travesty, and while his team is sitting at 4-2, he has been undefeated since he took over a few weeks ago. I don't know much about him, but he seems like a pretty good coach. He is rocking with a pretty scary team. It starts with Wartortle at the top, which is an incredibly versatile water type with good bulk and rapid spin, but its scariest set by far is Shell Smash, which could absolutely sweep through my team if I'm not careful. His A tiers are Jigglypuff and Florigato. Jigglypuff, with those stats, I don't quite understand why it's all the way up in A tier, but I suppose it is a decent bulky pivot with a lot of utility in the form of Knockoff, Stealth Rock, Thunder Wave, Wish, and endless coverage options. Florigato, on the other hand, is a crazy threat that has claimed 8 KOs in its last 2 weeks of the season. It has really good matchup here with the combination of Protein and its coverage to threaten most of my team with stab super effective damage. Thunder Punch for Fletchinder, Acrobatics for the grass types, Play Rough for Scraggy, U-Turn for Hatchrum, and oh, would you look at that, that's all of my major defensive pieces covered. This thing is going to be a huge threat. Then in the B tier we have the other major threat, Sliggoo, which tanks special hits all day and threatens with a very strong Draco Meteor, as well as plenty of coverage that makes this thing very hard to switch into. Vullaby provides a defensive piece that's very annoying to break through. Breaksin is a mid-tier special attacker that does a pretty good job of beating Florigato's checks. Graveler is a bulky rock setter that can also check Fletchinder very nicely, and that's about where my threat list ends here. Spinnerack would show up as a web setter, and Hatena can bounce hazards back, but that's most of what those guys can do. And then you think Pawmi is that's Pawmo, isn't it? You think that's a decent fighting type, but its move pool is pretty bad actually. It doesn't have a strong fighting stab to work with, so it is actually a bit underwhelming in that role. So we're just going to get into my build, kicking it off. I think a big priority of mine is keeping Stealth Rock off of my side of the field. There are a lot of powerful attackers on my opponent's side, and my defensive switch-ins can handle them, but absolutely do not have the wiggle room to be taking Rock's chip on top of that. So of course I am bringing physically defensive Eviolite Hatchrum, which I'm confident will be able to check the two rock setters, Jigglypuff and Graveler. Psyshock is good stab and hits Sliggoo and Breaksin harder than Psychic. Draining Kiss provides some coverage for Vullaby as well as a bit of recovery, and Giga Drain ensures that I win the Graveler matchup. I'm also running Calm Mind since Jigglypuff is basically just a walking setup opportunity, so Hatchrum could definitely do a bit of early game breaking in the right conditions. Next up is Ivysaur, which is another major defensive piece. With Max Spadef Eviolite, this is my Sliggoo switch in every time. We just barely avoid the 2-hit KO from anything a special set can do to us, including Specs Ice Beam. This bulk also makes Ivysaur a nice answer to Shell Smash Wartortle, since even a +2 Ice Beam doesn't do all that much to us. Our stab move of choice is Sludge Bomb. Poison coverage is surprisingly good in this matchup, only resisted by Graveler and Spinnerack, and Knockoff is just great utility to help on top of that. Synthesis for recovery so I can check Sliggoo multiple times over the course of the match, and Roar to phase out any setup sweepers, most notably Curse Sliggoo or Shell Smash Wartortle. Next up is Scraggy, which is an Assault Vest set meant to be a catch-all switch into special attackers when I need to preserve Ivysaur's health a little bit. Importantly, this switches in on Breaksin, which Ivysaur definitely doesn't want to do, and it takes hits okay from Sliggoo or Wartortle in a pinch. This isn't a consistent defensive answer though, it's more of a bulky attacker that wants to switch in once and then go to town from there. Close Combat and Knockoff provide good stab coverage as always, and Head Smash is the big coverage move of choice meant to break through the Vullaby. I have Fake Out in the last slot, which provides some priority to finish off a weakened Wartortle, but it also turns Scraggy into a nice anti-hazard lead, breaking through the sturdy Graveler or Focus Sash Spinnerack before they can set their hazards. We have enough speed to outrun Jolly Spinnerack, and that also puts me well above Vullaby and Sliggoo, even if they're running a little bit of speed investment for creep. Next up, I mentioned with Ivysaur that poison coverage looks pretty good in this matchup, so we're leaning hard into that with this choice banned Gunk Shot Frogadier. The typical switch-ins for Frogadier should be bulky Wartortle, Spadef Jigglypuff, and Sliggoo, but all those are caught off guard for huge damage if they switch in on a Gunk Shot. The poison resists are Graveler, which doesn't want to switch in on Frogadier, and Spinnerack, which is very nearly one-hit KO'd by Gunk Shot anyway. Our other moves are Liquidation, which is needed to threaten Graveler and Breaksin, and Ice Punch, which is solid coverage all around, and my hardest hit into Vullaby, which otherwise checks this set decently well. U-Turn is for pivoting, and thanks to Choice Band and Protein, it's still a great attacking option. We have speed for the base 85 Palmo, which unfortunately means I just barely need to be Jolly, but Frogadier would still be hitting very hard anyway. Fletchinder is next, with nearly max speed to outrun Florigato, and max defense and a Rocky Helmet. This is my dedicated switch-in to Florigato, as just max defense means that we survive a Thunder Punch from Adamant Florigato, and then outspeed it to either roost off the damage and lose the electric weakness, or burn it with Will-O-Wisp. And every time we switch in, we are chipping it down with Helmet and trying to proc Flame Body. Bravebird gives Fletchinder a way to immediately threaten damage, and U-Turn is there to pivot out of Fletchinder switch-ins, of which there are many. This is the set that absolutely mandates rocks stay off the field since we're not running boots on this, which is why Hatchram is going to be so important in this matchup. And then the last slot goes to Luxio with a predictable item choice. When I see a high-profile Shell Smasher on my opponent's side, my hands will inevitably type the words Mirror Herb into the team builder. Luxio outspeeds Wartortle, so if I do end up copying the Shell Smash, I definitely stop its sweep while potentially starting my own. With the boost, Luxio is terrifyingly strong, with the only real stops being Full Health Graveler and maybe Max Fizdef Jigglypuff. If I don't get the boost, which is more likely, honestly, Luxio is still a solid breaker in this matchup, with Electric and Fairy coverage to threaten most of that team for good damage, Trail Blaze for Graveler as well as speed boosting potential, and Thunder Wave mostly to do something to Florigato while avoiding its Sucker Punch. You'll notice I am running Rivalry on this set. I did scout my opponent out a little bit, and he tends to only use female Pokemon for some reason, so I am going to try to take advantage of that. Even if it backfires and he has made some male Pokemon on his team, Luxio is more limited, but it still gets a guaranteed boost on the Rivalry to break through Vullaby, which is guaranteed to be female. That is going to do it for the team though. This is a big match. We've almost clinched playoffs as the current number 2 team in the division, but the number 3 team stands in the way. I will see you guys in the battle. Alright, have found Niko for week 7. Let's see what they brought. We have, okay, Florigato, Vullaby, Wartortle, the Sliggoo, Spinarak, okay, and Jigglypuff. Okay, I see a Spinarak, and that's a potential lead with Sash Webs. So we're going with the Fake Out Scraggy as my option as the lead. This is actually pretty decent into everything, aside from, I guess, Jigglypuff and probably Florigato. We don't love Vullaby either, so I guess we match up well against half of this team. And notably, the team is all female, so Rivalry Luxio is going to pay off, actually. That's pretty cool. But yeah, we're going to go ahead with this set of 6 in this lead here. Yep, alright. Good luck, have fun. To Niko. Let's see, what do they leave behind? No Breaksin is quite nice. I don't have amazing switch into that. And looks like their rocker is just Jigglypuff, which Hatchram has no problem switching on. No Graveler is nice for Fletchinder as well. And it is the Puff to start. Okay, well, I'm just immediately going... Well, I could Fake Out first, or I could go right into Hatchram. I think I want to preserve Fake Out for later. Let's just see, Scraggy to Jigglypuff. Fake Out's not doing significant damage. It's not chip that I'm super worried about. So yeah, I will just go Hatchram. I don't want Rocks up. Kind of need to keep those off at any cost. Jigglypuff has a huge moveset, so it's tough to say what it's going to do. It does have knockoff, so I'm half expecting that to come out here on a pretty obvious switch. So be it though, yeah. Knockoff, okay. So we take 36 from that knockoff, which means... that's like... Oh, and that's not even like just minus attack. That's 0 IVs minus attack. Very interesting. Okay, I think I could get a bit of chip onto the Vullaby with a Drain Kiss. I think that's what I'm going to do. Vullaby seems like the obvious switch in. So we're going to do that. Notably, Spinarak was not the lead, which is interesting. They're just gonna stay in. Interesting. I do like nothing to it, so I could have Calm Minded here. What is it doing to me? Body Slam. I mean, okay, I'm gonna Calm Mind. If you're gonna stay in like that, let's see. I did 10% with the Draining Kiss, which means this is probably a Spadef Jigglypuff. Yeah, I mean, getting parried here kind of sucks, but I mean, I am putting myself in a good position for a lot of damage on something, right? Knock off. Yeah, whatever, man. I could, so I'm at +1. Draining Kiss isn't doing too much. Could go for a big Psy Shock here, which I think I am going to do. This, I'm threatening setup, which means I could be forcing in the Vullaby now. So maybe this Psy Shock was a mistake. Spadef Jigglypuff for sure. Not quite full Spadef. It might be like mixed bulk. Now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, 10%'s a little high if it was max like Spadef Eviolite. Okay, we're gonna get our Psy Shock off. This should do more than half. Does a lot, yeah. Nice. Body Slam. Hope for no para on this. Crit. Okay. Puff out of the way. It honestly doesn't mean all that much to me, I don't think. Hi, Steve Chuck. How much does Vullaby do if it switches in for free, is the question. Vullaby, I'm no longer Eviolite. Its knockoff is not going to take me out, so... I mean, I don't mind too much just going for another Psy Shock here. Taking out Jigglypuff does mean rocks are never going up. Okay, and it looks like they're just going to give it to me. Cool. So this is the main thing Hatchram was trying to check. This and the Graveler, I guess, because they were the rockers. So I do not mind too much letting Hatchram go down after this. We'll see what comes in. Oh, it's the Spinarak. That's interesting. So here's the thing, it absolutely needs speed to outrun me. It needs a lot of speed. Like, more than like 160 or so EVs. So yeah, max speed, max attack Adamew would take me out with a Leech Life. Is it worth saving Hatchram? I mean, not really. Sucker Punch, max Adamew Sucker Punch does not do it, so if it's a slow set, hey, I'm just gonna make sure it's not a slow set. Mega Horn! Oh man, alright, so it's fast with Mega Horn. Very interesting. Alright. Okay. So Hatchram down, not the worst thing in the world. Scraggy does have a strong head smash to be clicking here, and in fact that is pretty excellent into that whole team. Scraggy. Otherwise it's Fletchinder, and I don't want chip on this guy in case of that Florigato being a problem. I do think... not Frogadier. It's Frogadier or Scraggy is like where I want to be here. And I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for the head smash. So it has to be fast, and it's Mega Horn, so obviously it's pretty offensive. Head smash should be no doubt taking it out here. It was like a roll in my favor on max HP Eviolite, but that is certainly not what this is. And Head Smash, I mean, that's unresisted. So I'm just going to click the button. They could be switching out, probably the Vullaby here. I guaranteed outspeed Max Jolly Spinnerack, so no worries there. Having clicked the Head Smash button is a little tense, obviously. There's some risks involved. They're going to switch out. Something has to take a pretty big hit here. Could have been a knockoff. It's going to be the Volbeat. Oh, okay. Do we get it? We don't get it. Darn it. Man, okay. Well, if it was physically defensive, it wouldn't have even taken that much anyway. So, like, whatever, right? Okay, that does suck, though. I would have loved to force it to a Roost or something, you know? Luxio I have to keep in the back near Herb, obviously. Can't have that take me out. I could do a knockoff here. It's Brave Bird. If it's defensive, which I obviously expect it to be, Brave Bird's not going to be like a KO, but it's going to do a lot. I think I just need to go for it though. I don't really have a great switch in to like a potential knockoff or something. There's an Eviolite, yeah. Okay, it goes for a knockoff. I can try to see if this is like did a little over 10% maybe. There's definitely a decent amount of physical bulk on there. Do I just go for it? Could you CC first? Maybe. Head Smash doing more than half of this thing. Everything else I can't really expend, aside from maybe Frogadier. I'll go for it once. So if it roosts, this is unfortunate, but maybe it doesn't. Okay. What to do in front of this situation? I could go Fletchinder now. I'm just shooting myself in the foot for that Sprigatito, though. Oh, man. I think I go for it. This is definitely potential to roost on this turn. Okay, U-turns. I do get the helmet proc. No Flame Body, though. Okay. Well, that thing's decently chipped down, no Eviolite. If I ever catch it again with Scraggy, we're looking like we're in a pretty good spot. I bet maybe Warp Portal could come in here. Sliggoo is reasonable. You saw him helmet, so it's probably safe to assume I'm, you know, a very defensive set. They're thinking about it though. Daphne hits the Sliggoo. Okay. Out of Fear of Scarf, I'm just going to go straight into the Ivysaur. And let's see what kind of hit we're taking. Dragon Pulse. Okay. Life Orb. Wow. Alright, good to know. So we take 94 from that. I guess we can try to see if it's modest, perhaps. Modest Life Orb Dragon Pulse does line up quite well with that. That's actually a high roll for Modest, so we absolutely know that it is a Modest set. I think I'm going to Synthesis. Goes for Ice Beam, yep. I tank that okay. Yeah, so Ice Beam, I just need to, like, check range for this. Let's see. Ice Beam. I'm at this much health. Ice Beam into Draco has a decent shot maybe to KO, but not if I knock off. Okay. You see switch probably, yep. This makes sense. This makes sense. Absolutely nothing. I think here is where I go to Frogadier, probably. Yeah, I don't have a super easy way to break through this thing, or switch in, you know. The Frogadier to... Yeah, this is, B. Let's say Fizz Def without the Eviolite. I need something that puts more pressure on this. Maybe if it just has to be Fletchinder. I hate going through Fletchinder's health like this. I'm not sure... Okay, it's gonna knock off. We can burn it, right? Nope, no burn. Okay. I think I'll burn now, though. This thing's gonna roost, right? So we get damage chicken, I'll roost to the next turn so I stay healthy. Nice. We got the whiz. There's a roost. Yep. Good stuff. Okay, and could roost myself here. I think I will. We're just going to stay as healthy as we can for that Floragato that I know is lurking in the back. It misses a Toxic. Okay. Let's keep in mind the moveset here. Toxic, which I'm glad I dodged. Toxic, Roost, Knockoff, U-turn. Okay. Well, I guess I could U-turn myself. Sure. Alright, and Scraggy is decently safe to switch in on this. It could U-turn on us, of course, but that kind of is what it is. Scraggy's matchup spread is decent. Even against Floragato, I'm happy to take a Fake Out on it, just for some chip. Okay, it goes for Toxic. This is... okay. Scraggy's health is already, you know, low-ish, so it's kind of whatever. And can I remind myself of that head smash roll? I mean, I'm gonna break through this thing one way or another. Yep. You gonna KO me or you gonna roost? You're gonna roost. Alright. Alright, it's in range. I think anything is in range, honestly. So we're gonna rip it. Luck willing? Yes! Okay. I will take it. Well, yep, I don't know if that was worth it, but is what it is. Raggy is down, so it's full of B. Okay, and I'm tempted to go Frogadier. There could be a Scarfloragato waiting for me, though. I'm gonna go for it, though. I don't have too much that I can do. What is this? It is this guy. Okay. So, Frogadier against a Interact. Has Mega Horn. So this is like not a bulky Spinnerack. So Gunk Shot actually, it's not going to KO, unfortunately. It's just worth considering. Do I want to get into a Bug and Poison resist for this? Or do I just want a Liquidation, which actually does take a KO? Out of curiosity, does +1 Spinnerack outspeed me? No. We're gonna Liquidation? This just kills. Interesting. Okay. Is it going for webs? What is it trying to do here? Does it get Endeavor? No Endeavor. I don't know what it's doing. I kind of don't want War Portal a free setup opportunity either. So I could go with, like, maybe Luxio now on the webs? I think webs is what it has to be doing, right? This is a risk. Yeah, there's the Custap, of course. And maybe we just start going with Luxio. Yeah, there's webs. Okay. Yeah. Glad I switched in Luxio. I think this is its best time to do something. I'm gonna Trailblaze. They're gonna save the Spinnerack. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, and here... it's Sap Super, right. Okay. Oh! Right! Oh my gosh. I never thought about that interaction. Okay. Okay, I'm at +1 attack, baby. Alright, this is an easy play rough. No, 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 no! Why would you miss that? Why would you miss right there? Ah. Are we serious? Oh my god, Luxio was set up so good, too. Ugh. Do what we can. Jeez. That sucks. That hurts. Okay. Wow. I've never went from elation to depression that quickly in a match before. That's terrible. Okay. Well, I'm gonna knock off. Ice Team, this will not take me out after I get the knockoff. Okay. Oh, Luxio. That sucks so much. Hmm. Okay, let's see. Ivysaur against a Spinarak. Max Jolly outspeeds me. Max Adamant also does. I think I absolutely need Ivysaur for the rest of this game, unfortunately. I will go with Frogadier, probably not that useful given how it's low now, so we're gonna have to let him go down. Not let go down necessarily. I don't think, at least. Because if I live whatever this does... Knock off. Okay. Alright, do I Gunk Shot? Or do I just U-turn out? I could just U-turn, but I think I want that poison typing, because so Florigato doesn't revenge me quite as easily. Because it doesn't do much to poison. The best is like a dark coverage move, like Sucker Punch, I think. So I hate to click a move that can miss, but here we are. Yeah. They're really going to withdraw again. Okay. So what? Oh, to this thing? Okay, they're going to sack that instead. I'm going to miss all my moves. Okay, never mind. That's Protein. Alright, cool. So Frogadier takes a KO here. Okay. I guess Ward Portal is actually a reasonable revenge. But if I can take out Ward Portal, Fletchinder actually wins the rest of this game. Hopefully. Maybe. This would be... Florigato? Okay. So, Frogadier as a poison type into Florigato. Wow, it KOs me with like anything. Gotcha, alright. Is Frogadier worth keeping around? Maybe as a sack. Especially because Fletchinder does actually take a Thunder Punch. We calc it to do that. And if not, I mean, I've kind of resigned. This game is not going great anyway. Goes for U-turn. Okay. Oh, let's see this U-turn damage. 267, so 27 points of damage. Still no flame body. Okay, that's the Ward Portal. Got it. Florigato U-turn 27. That's an Adamant set with no boosting item. Ward Portal. I'm surprised you U-turned. I thought you were just going to take a KO. I was reasonably considering just sacking off the Frogadier. But okay. Now, I guess the question is, do I
Try to Brave Bird the War Portal. No. I kinda need Legender. Scariest thing is Shell Smash, obviously. So I think I'm just gonna U-turn out. War Portal. Let's just make sure +2 doesn't take out Ivysaur with an Ice Spinner. No, it doesn't. Okay. Alright, U-turn out. Decent chunk. Looks offensive for sure. Then we Ivysaur. Yep. This is fine. Yep, there's a smash. Okay. Do we see a... We do see a white herb. Okay, well, I'm roaring. Ice Beam, so special. This is better for me, honestly. Really wish I had hazards. But honestly, when would I have set them up, right? That War Portal, I didn't calc it, but yeah, special smash. I'm just trying to see... another Ice Beam at +2, would that take out Ivysaur? It would be a roll. Okay. We've seen Megahorn and that one other move from the Spinnerack. I think it could be time to sack Frogadier off, actually. My other two Pokemon are too valuable. Oh! A double. Interesting. We see the War Portal come back. Okay. War Portal, I'm not banded. I'm at -1 actually, which might mean it's kind of ambiguous whether or not this thing is going to outspeed me. I should Gunk though. Yeah, Gunk Shot into like U-turn should make sure that it can't smash. Okay, so a lot would have to go wrong for me to lose to this Shell Smash right at this moment. Gunk Shot would have to... Okay, I'm speaking everything into existence. Gunk Shot would have to miss, and then I would have to lose the about 50-50 roll to survive the Ice Beam with Ivysaur. Actually, either way, I might have to live that 50-50 Ice Beam with Ivysaur. But what are you going to do? Let's Gunk Shot. Okay, it's going to go to -1. Maybe I should U-turn. Okay. This is risky. Let's see what happens. Okay, we see the Protein. Yep. Okay. Gunk Shot takes it out. Nice. Okay. Yeah, big. Floragato probably should come in for the revenge. The fact that it didn't go for the KO on Frogadier does feel a bit telling. Yep. So... I mean, I'm here. I doubt I'm going to be allowed to live this turn. Floragato, not a boosting item. I'm imagining Scarf would be a bit weird if you're a Webs team. It could still be Acrobatics. It is pretty funny how screwed Frogadier is into Floragato, though. Like, it just does so much damage to us. But yeah, I was going to try again. I'm doubting I'm going to live the turn. It's going to Thunder Punch. Okay. Alright, so yeah. Florgato kills Frogadier. And then I could try to bet that it's locked in to Thunder Punch against the Ivysaur. And if it's, I mean, it's electric type now. Ivysaur, there's a lot to put in the calc with these protein mons. Okay, I'm gonna swap in Ivysaur. Acrobatics would take me out if it's that item list set, even though it's not protein. And if it's Scarf, then I can, I guess, Sludge Bomb for free. This actually has a shot to KO it. I don't know what to do here. I think... Well, if it takes me out with Acrobatics, it takes me out with Acrobatics. If it's locked in the Thunder Punch, we're going to switch out. And go into Spinner Rack. In which case, I should just attack. And if it takes me out with Acrobatics, or you go for another move like that, I should just attack anyway. Yeah, alright. It's not locked in. Okay. It's not a boosting item. It's adamant. It's not Scarf. That's really all we know. Okay, Ivysaur takes out Rack. And it's down to just Florgato. Okay, a couple of things to know. No boosting item. Put the set back on. Let me reset this. Florgato. Thunder Punch does not take me out. So we're going to Synthesis. It has to make itself into not grass and not electric, which gives Fletchinder a huge advantage. I probably should just Sludge Bomb, actually. Hard to say. Synthesis. Goes for Sucker. Turns itself into a Dark type. No. Sucker fails, so it does not turn itself into a Dark type. Alright, and I'm pretty healthy. It's going for Sucker Punch. And we just go for Sludge Bomb. Goes for a U-turn to turn itself into a Bug type. That feels like conceding. Which I guess it probably is at this point. Oh, this is like Eviolite. Okay. Got it. That's a lot of damage. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go as far as I can with Ivysaur here. So much damage. And the goal is to try and get a 2-0 win. If I can't, though, it's really not a huge deal. Because now, especially now that it's not even protein anymore. Oh, where are my procs? But yeah, now it's not protein. There's nothing it can do to Fletchinder, really. Alright, this was a heck of a game. Alright, yeah. Ivy takes out Florgato. And that is a 2-0 win, meaning that as of week 7, we are 6-1. Let's go. Yeah, really, really good game to Lilypool FC, coached by Niko. Yeah, you played it really well. You really applied a lot of pressure, The misses on my end, I mean, I ran a lot of moves that could miss, so like, it figures that one of them would. It's just a shame it happened to be that play rough. I was so excited for Luxio to work. But that's fine. It'll have to be fine. we obviously won. The Shell Smash War Portal was huge, and KOing it with Frogadier's Gunk Shot was also huge. Honestly, I mean, given how the game went, missing that player up, I will take it, given the several Gunk Shot hits. So yeah, with all that said, yeah, I'll see you guys for week 8. We're about to hit the final week of the season. And yeah, I'll see you guys for that.